I want to welcome you back to another tutorial. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing, as I normally make machine tutorials. But today we're going to be diving into the Control Mark III, and this is going to be about the Midi templates, and this is the updated version. So you're going to need to update your firmware in order for this to work. Go over to your native access account, log into your native access account, and then look for updates. And then you just want to update both the complete control as well as the hardware. And then you're going to want to download the firmware from the website. It's going to prompt you on your keyboard to download that software from the site. So with the new firmware update, what you're allowed to do is essentially control external synths, such as, I don't know, maybe a Roland Phantom, or maybe, if you have Omnisphere, you can control software. There's a lot of things you can do with inside of this update, but I just want to kind of show you the basics on programming something for Omnisphere and how I would go about it. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the bell notification so whenever I drop a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. So let's dive into today's tutorial, which is setting up the templates. So when you first power on your keyboard, you're going to notice it's going to say default MIDI template. And with the new firmware update, what you can do is hold down the shift key and then hit browser. And that's going to enter the MIDI templates in which you can edit the MIDI templates. But before we even do anything, we don't want to adjust the default MIDI template. We just want to leave that one alone. What we're going to do is create our own template for Omnisphere. So to do that, I'm just going to simply press the new button, and it's going to be prompted with a screen that says name your template. This one says MIDI template. I'm just going to click clear up here, and I could name my own template. So as we were just talking about and discussing, I'm going to do Omnisphere. H-E. Okay, so now that that is typed in there, the next thing that we're going to want to do is hit the save button here. And now it's going to say Omnisphere. So now that that is saved, the next thing that we're going to want to do is click the edit button. And now we are prompted with a whole bunch of different parameters in which we could start programming right away. So again, I'm using Omnisphere, and you can see that on the screen up here. And I'm just going to load a patch. Let's go over to the keyboard. I'm just going to load a simple ambient space piano. All right, so here comes the tricky part. Let's just say, for example, that we want to be able to use our controller to move between the patches in Omnisphere. So what we want to do is we want to first delete the things that we don't need. So let's just say, for example, on page 1, I just want to be able to move forward and move backwards. So I can press N right here to just get rid of the stuff that I don't need. And all I'm really doing is just clearing out the clutter. And I'm just using my 4D encoder to go down, and I'm just clearing all of this out because I do not need this right here. All right, so I'm just gonna go back over, and I don't need this here, and I don't need this here. And then the next thing I wanna do is basically rename these here. So I'm just gonna come up here, I'm gonna hit rename, and I'm gonna hit clear. And now I can name it whatever I want. So I'm just gonna put I think this was the back arrow here for this one, because that's gonna be the previous. And then this one here, right next to it, is gonna be the next. So I just moved over, rename, clear, and I'm just gonna go to this down here, and we're just gonna press this, save. So now we have our backwards and then our forwards. So once I hit the done button, you're gonna notice where it says Omnisphere, super clean interface, and I just have my forward button and then my back button. So now that I have this part set up, what I wanna do is go back in here and select the control trigger, right? So we're gonna do shift browser. I'm gonna go back to edit, and notice how it says Omnisphere here. And then I want to change my assignment, right? So I have it assigned to either type, which can be a control change, a program change, or note. And then you have other various options down here. And for right now, I'm looking at it and I notice this one's highlighted. So we're gonna change this to channel 2, and I'm gonna have it on number 1. And then I'm just gonna toggle back here, and we're gonna put this one on 0. And that's gonna be on channel 1 here. So now what I want to do is change my mode, and we're going to turn this over to gate. And what I do to one, I have to do to the other. So we're going to turn this to gate. So if I flip back and forth, I'm looking at it, I'm checking it, and it looks right to me. So that's all good there. So I just hit done. So now what I can do, I can come into Omnisphere and I can say, for this one here, I can choose how I want to program it. So this is going to be down. And so what I want to do now is select this one here, do a right click, and we're going to put Midi CC learn. So that one is to go over to the next one. So what I want to do is hit the next button here. So now what I just did was learn that to go to the next patch. And then the next thing I want to do is come back over here. And this is going to be the previous patch here. So I just do the same thing, Midi learn, click the previous button. And so now what I can do, I could go over to the next patch. Or go back. And so that's all that I'm really doing for the programming for this portion here. So if I want to take it a step further, what I can do is go back. So I do Shift, Browser, and then I want to edit the Omnisphere patch that I'm on. And let's just say, for example, that I want to maybe add the cutoff and the resonance switch. So now what I want to do, I want to come back over here. I can toggle back over. And we want to enable these ones again. And then I'm just going to rename this one to cutoff. So we're going to do cutoff. CUT. We do OFF. We're going to save that. And then let's just say we want to make this into a different display mode. So let's do by percent. And we have the max to 127, absolute. And the cutoff, let's just change it to 74. And that's going to be our control change number there. And then we're going to do the same thing to the next one. Rename it. We're going to clear it out. Call this one res. And that's going to be short for resonance. And then I'm going to save this here. Change it to the percent mode. We're going to do number 75 because I just did 74. Let's try to keep it consistent. Then I just want to do done once everything looks good. So now I have my cutoff and then I have my resonance. So now I just come back over to Omnisphere here. And then I can select this one here to be Midi CC learn. That's going to be the cutoff. And then we want to learn another one. That's going to be the resonance. So now essentially what I just did is program the Control Mk3. And then I can go to the next patch. So there's other things you can do, such as add pages. So if you want to add a page, just go back to browser here. You can go to edit, and then you can go to the different pages here. You would hold down shift, and then you can add a page. And then you can also do the same thing to delete a page, or if you want to move it, you can do that as well. So once you have everything programmed in the keyboard as well as in Omnisphere, the last thing that you're going to want to do is come up here inside of Omnisphere. I'm going to click utility. And we're going to go to Midi Learn and Automation and go down to Save Template. So you're going to want to save everything that you just did to make it easier for you. So I'm just going to save this as, Omni 1. And we're going to click Save. Whenever I open and close this and load Omni 1, all my work has been saved. So now that I have everything saved inside of Omnisphere as well as my Mark III on my controller, what I can do now is I can close completely out of Omnisphere, reopen Omnisphere, and then load my template, and then just select my template here inside of Omnisphere. I hit load and everything is all good. So I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. If you found it valuable, again, hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on how you feel about the new update. It's your boy Fizz. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next video, and we are out.